Imagine listening to a few notes of a song and getting transported somewhere in an instant. Maybe it's the ride in the car with your friends, a conversation late at night, or a memory from a long time ago that hasn't crossed your mind in years. This is one thing that music can do for us. Music can certainly be entertaining, but it goes beyond entertainment. One of the most remarkable powers of music is the ability to transport us into different places and times, emotions, and experiences. While music can surely provide people with pleasure, there is a lot more to it than that. Before we continue, think about this, your name. Mine is Kiera McLean. Alone it means nothing but sound, provided with music, provided with context, a memory and emotions, and it takes on significance. Music is what does this for us. It provides us with meaning through its emotional power. The effects of music on humans have been recognized to be profoundly great. It can affect both emotional response and thinking processes. This presentation aims to examine the effects music has on its listeners and the physiological aspects that make it possible. It will also focus on the connections between music, memory, emotions, and behavior. Scientists state that music activates a complex network of neural mechanisms rather than being localized in one particular brain structure. In other words, listening to music requires not only the activity of auditory structures, but also emotion and cognition. Moreover, it will be necessary to analyze the role of certain elements of musical works for moods and actions. Thus, after understanding these aspects, it will become obvious that music does not merely sound, but influences the listener in various ways. But how does listening to music affect your brain? Well, in the process of listening to any form of sound, more than one region in the brain gets stimulated. Not only do regions that deal with the processing of sounds themselves become active, but so do regions dealing with motion, emotions, and memories. This neurotransmitter is one of those that play an important role in this procedure. It has earned itself the nickname of the feel-good neurotransmitter. The reason for this is that dopamine gets released into the brain when one experiences something rewarding, such as eating their favorite meal or accomplishing something that they have been working on. As explained by the National Institute on Drug Abuse, the way that dopamine works is because of reinforcement of certain actions via pleasure. This means that after the secretion of dopamine, due to certain actions, our brains instruct us to keep performing them. This may explain the preference for listening to preferred music. It should also be mentioned that due to dopamine and pleasant sensations connected to its release, certain songs become addicting. There is an equally strong link between music and memory. The reason behind this is because the parts of our brains that control music have connections with the hippocampus, which is deep within the brain's temporal lobe and is where we create memories. Due to this reason, music can act as a reminder of your memory. A single track has the ability to bring you right back to an experience. As explained in Music as Medicine, music has a unique ability to access memories and emotions that may otherwise be difficult to reach. That is precisely why some songs are deeply personal, because they relate to real-life events. For instance, the music you have heard all your life may make you nostalgic, while the music that describes the bad experiences of your life makes you feel sad. Even after several years, a song is associated with a particular event by your brain immediately. This is also why music is used in therapy. People with memory disorders, including Alzheimer's, can retain their memories of music despite forgetting people and events. Music accesses the regions of our brains that have not been impaired by damage to other regions. Apart from impacting the moods of people, music affects emotions instantaneously. This is caused by various features of music, including tempo, rhythm, and key. Music that is faster with a clear rhythm causes listeners to feel energized or excited, while slow music triggers the feeling of calmness or relaxation, or even sadness in listeners. There are many reasons behind such phenomena other than preference. As explained by Chirac, people are biologically programmed to recognize patterns of music. Pattern recognition can either be conscious or subconscious. Major music is associated with happiness, while minor music creates the feeling of sadness in people. It is not necessary for one to have any sort of musical knowledge to understand the rhythm of music and be able to identify with the emotions expressed through music. The reaction that comes forth due to the rhythm in the song is dependent on the mood of the individual. For instance, when the individual is happy and excited prior to listening to the music, then they would continue being in such state after hearing the songs. Apart from eliciting feelings, music also affects our behavior. Do your behaviors change depending on the kind of music you are hearing? You might listen to music while exercising or studying for exams. In essence, it is a tool which dictates your behavior and helps to concentrate your thoughts. Further, music plays an essential role in the making of films, too. Many scenes will not seem complete without music. Tension-building music adds intensity to scenes. Music that evokes emotions is important since the audience will be able to relate to the characters. Second, music helps alleviate stress levels. According to scientific findings, music has been found to help reduce cortisol levels, hence reducing stress levels. That is why most people tend to listen to music whenever something stressful occurs. They find comfort in the melodies. Music is another form of healing. An individual can be healed by music as they express themselves through it. As indicated below, music can provide a healing effect, making it a great option for therapy. Other interesting property of music is the ability to create shared experiences between individuals. For example, people who are at a concert can synchronize their neural activity while enjoying the performance. As a result, they share the same emotions simultaneously. It is possible to use music as a means to unite people. This explains why music has been used in deciding culture and individuality. Individuals are capable of meeting because of the music, irrespective of their origins and backgrounds. Nevertheless, one must keep in mind that music may also have its disadvantages. In a case where one keeps on listening to violent and or sad music, they will inevitably become violent and or sad. Therefore, music becomes a very strong influence on individuals. What does this mean for us? It means that music isn't simply playing in the background. It's something that actually changes the way we think and act. In this regard, knowing how music works in the brain allows us to utilize this phenomenon better and make sure we can listen to music when we need motivation, calmness, or an opportunity to work through complicated emotions. Music is linked to both the brain function and emotional experience of a person. This phenomenon involves activation of different brain regions, release of such neurochemicals as dopamine, formation of new memory connections, as well as influence on emotions and behavior. As pointed out by Music as Medicine, music is capable of assisting in healing, emotional regulation, and well-being. Accordingly, music will be able to help us heal, motivate, relax, and connect with one another. Remember the next time that you put on your favorite song, there is much more than simply hearing that piece of music going on in your head. That is the real impact of music. Thank you.